Wait a minute.
Are you joking?
I've been acting like a wild man, sleeping like a child.
Good morning. We are on our way into Christchurch town centre because it is Christchurch Food Festival. We did come in last night for some dinner and to have a drink, but it was a little bit hectic and people were a little bit boozy, which is fine, but it's not really our vibe. So we've come in early this morning with Rocco and hopefully it's a little bit more chilled, a little bit more quiet, and we can go and find some more delicious things. Hopefully, maybe. The rest of the day, we have a very exciting day in that we're going to do a food shop, go to the garden centre, woohoo, and roast dinner later.
Always in bloom, always in bloom for you. An infatuated although it hurts me, be with you. I'm always in bloom, always in bloom for
So nuts.
be with you. I'm always in bloom, always in bloom for I'm always in bloom, always in bloom for
Want to say what we got from the food festival?
Yes, we got some noble bee, which is local honey from the New Forest. It's raw honey, which technically is supposed to be unpasteurized. And we got 3 different types, which I am going to tell you about.
And we did ask what the difference between raw honey and stuff that you just buy in the shop.
That's just what I said, unpasteurized.
Yeah, but he was like, even though it's pasteurized in the shop, the honey to start with is crap, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just making it more crap. Whereas this is proper honey from
Bees.
proper bees.
So basically on each top lids there's the name of the beekeeper. They seem to be different, and the apiary, which I'm assuming is the actual ape in Italian is bee, so apiary is probably where the bees are kept.
Like beehives.
So beehives, yeah. So they have different flavors. So if I remember correctly, this one, which is the clearest one, is the one with the caramel tone, and then these two, they look pretty similar in color, so I wouldn't be able to actually distinguish them, but they have wildflower notes, and one has more hawthorn, wow, that's hard, hawthorn hints in it, and the other one is more floral. This one is from Bewley. This one is from, can you read?
The writing is not great, is it?
This one is from the mouth of
Molly's Meadow Leap or something.
something like that. This one again is from the mouth of the Bewley River. So they also have, which I'm really interested in actually, beeswax. So I'm learning more about endocrine disruptors, so things that are going to be affecting your hormones, and basically because of the lifestyles that we live, there is an increased exposure to toxins. And when I say we live in, I mean the entire world. So if there are things that we can avoid doing, then obviously why not? And one of the things that we can try and reduce is synthetic fragrances, so perfumes, which is a big struggle for me. I have a big nose for a reason. I love wearing...
Very good at smelling.
Yeah, very good at smelling. I love fragrances. It's just one of my biggest passions. So yeah, I've always been into fragrances, and I've really toned that down. And also I loved having candles burning at all times, and that's also gone, unfortunately. But I am now looking into alternatives that are safer, because it is a big passion of mine, and there is some joy, and you always have to weigh what's going to also impact your quality of life. If you take away everything that brings you joy, then what is the bloody point in living? So beeswax and pure soy wax are really good alternatives in terms of candles, and when it comes to fragrances, essential oils are better than synthetic fragrances. So wherever possible, if you can choose that, that's great. And they have local beeswax. They had actually a big block, I think it was £20. We didn't buy it this time because just the three of these pots were £25, so it's quite a lot of money for honey. But I suffer from hay fever, so I'm hoping that introducing this within my diet is going to also help relieve some of that.
Yeah, they do say that honey from your local area could potentially help with hay fever. So there were other honey stalls, but one was made in Italy, and if they're not local, then I don't think it has the same effect.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that makes a difference as well. And we like to put honey in our cooking too.
Yes, so actually there's a recipe that I want to try to make some chocolate bars that is pretty much just, I think, honey, cacao powder, coconut oil, and probably put some like seeds and nuts and things like that, and you just freeze them as a little indulgent treat. Obviously honey is sugar, so something to be mindful of, but at least it's not refined sugar.
Yeah, it's a relatively natural, and we don't have a lot of sugar apart from we got this yesterday. Yeah, Rocco is interested in that. Oh, yeah. So good. We got a couple of blondies. One was a Biscoff one, and this one,
that's the only bit that's
Nutella.
Left. That's not refined sugar-free at all.
No.
That is joyful instead.
Yeah.
And again,
very much.
It's all about balance. I think it's my mum that says everything in moderation, even moderation, which makes complete sense. Reminding ourselves that we are human and we're trying our best, and not making it become another stressful thing, because what you're trying to do is reduce the stress on your bodies by avoiding toxins and things that are not good for your system. But if that's going to cause you to be stressed about everything that you eat, all the environments that you're in, everything that you drink and breathe and all of that, it's just not worth it.
No. And then I find, because we're really careful about what we eat, to the point, we make pretty much every meal. So when we do go out and have something we're like, oh, this is a bit greasy or processed or something, but it's experience it differently. And I don't know if I enjoy it more, because I those flavours, they're meant to kind of get you addicted and bring you those endorphins. But now it is just different for us, because we do enjoy it, when we have it, which is so rare.
I must admit, actually, I think my taste buds have changed significantly, and I don't enjoy it as much as you are perhaps making it out to be. I think if I really crave something like a
We'll
sweet
let ourselves,
something like that, yes, but
it's the feeling afterwards that I notice more now. Like the during, I'm like, oh my god, I could have so much of this, and then I like normally I would have had the whole lot, bomb, gone. Whereas now I can have a smaller amount of the sugary stuff and be satisfied. But then I do notice afterwards like a big change either in my mood or like the sugar rush, or like if I have something really stodgy, then I'll just be like and bloated. So I do notice that more. Like, yeah, it might make me feel kind of that dopamine hit, but my body is not happy with it really. So I notice that. Whereas before I would just eat it all.
I just think I'm not too keen on the flavours actually. Like
When you've never been that fussy on sugary stuff.
It's not just sugary. I'm talking about like I just don't think we eat any of it.
No, but it's just staring me in the face now. So
okay, enjoy. You can't really see.
not when you keep moving it.
Looks a bit moldy. But yeah, this is definitely ready because you can see that all the bottoms have gone brown. So it's ready for harvesting.
But they do look really mouldy, don't they?
It does. I don't know whether it's supposed to look like that. I don't think there's many. Maybe this one.
Garlic.
Through the cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be. Got nowhere to be.
Trinkets. Are they called trinkets?
Tobacco stuff. But if you like, this is so stupid, isn't it? To think that, what is that?
It's puncture repair kit. Actually.
I love all of these knick-knacks.
Knickknacks. I want my house to be this. No, because the dusting would be terrible. Yeah,
I think there are some lovely pots there.
there are. Copper. Is that what's going to poison us, though?
Why is it there?
I like this one. Joe Science. Like, it just looks dirty. Like you're going to die if you eat anything from that.
Why would you die?
Look at the state of it.
Yeah, that's the metal. That looks like the same as our cast iron.
This one, or I feel like this one I would look a little Austrian. Austrian.
Like
I need
an
some like
Alpine.
Lederhosen.
Yeah.
Yodeling, hoo hoo. But this one's actually quite nice.
It's actually.
A bit gangster, like Bugsy Malone, old.
Like a Peaky Blinder.
Yeah. I'm not sure like what I'd wear this with.
Yeah. I went for a cowboy hat.
Authentic suede.
Suede. That is £75. You're moving the camera up and down. I think.
No.
Your face is too small for the top bit. Try and have a look.
Yeah, weird. And the colour makes me look a bit dead. Not.
No, I don't think that's the problem.
That's not the problem. Just the size of your head is the problem. I was going to cook a roast today. However, we had a slight change of heart in that we were like, let's have some fun and just do whatever, which meant we did an online shop. Chicken's coming tomorrow and I'm going to make that tomorrow. So we had a mooch around an old vintagey Molly's Den place with loads of random stuff, and we got a couple of things. The herb Bible, because we are growing some herbs, so it's nice to know what they do and yeah, how to grow them efficiently. And I got a new bag, a nice leather bag, because when we went out this morning and I had my bum bag over my chest, I looked a little bit like Dora the Explorer, so this feels a little bit more grown up. I can put my camera stuff in it and go out, and yeah, so a nice little find. And it was £16, which is delightful because yeah, it's proper leather.
Nice green.
Nice size, yeah, looks like there's texture to it rather than just being that shiny. Yeah, vintage, buying something second hand. Great find. I love those places, even though they can be a little bit overwhelming, and we always tend to go there when we're hungry, which yeah, ruins everything if you're hungry. So we've come home and ordered a takeout. We're gonna watch a bit of TV, just chill, have a glass of wine in the afternoon so we can go to bed early and not feel the effects tomorrow, so hopefully. Oh, thank you. And we also got loads of lovely little plants, so we'll probably have a little planting sesh after we've been fed. Maybe, if we're not asleep on the sofa.
You can definitely taste the honey.
And the coconut. And the cocoa.
Mm. I think it can have more cocoa.
Yeah.
Because that's the bitter.
Yeah.
Because
It's some more honey.
the honey's prevalent. I mean,
The honey's so good. Really floral.
It's so floral,
Double.
isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Veggies.
definitely, for me, it's definitely too sweet.
Mm.
I think there needs to be less honey.
Mm.
And
Yeah, more cocoa.
more cocoa.
I wonder if you could put some salt in there.
Yeah, good shout. Definitely.
Next time.
It is time to do some gardening with me. Nice. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a little bit cold and my tummy is full. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Absolutely. I am so clued on. Yeah. So basically my technique is listen to what the plants are telling you. Are they thirsty? You give them some water. Do they need more space? Allow them to take space. Do they need to rest and need a little bit of shade? You know, we have some things to plant. These are the lovely things that we need to plant here. And then we need to repot loads of stuff in there. And we need to actually organize pots. So I suppose maybe we get pots out from the shed. Yeah, let's do it. I need some gloves.
These ones.
I'll go get some more. I don't think we used the other ones yet. These are fancy ones, gloves, rose gloves. I don't know if I like them. Because I'm not gonna feel anything. Stinging nettle. Didn't we get these for that? So basically I need to get another pair. Excellent. Okay, so these can go. Oopsie. So hold on, what are you doing? So what you want to do is make sure that you pick the plant and you give it enough space, because that's the whole point. Okay?
Yep. So separate them and then
Yeah.
put them in.
And give it space.
Yeah.
We have potentially lots of basil.
Well, it's better than last year where we had 0.
Yeah. I'm just planting the basil. It's still a lot more spacious than what you would get in what they do basically in the shop. They grow this and then they cut one bit, and that's what you get inside a pot, which means that obviously it's overcrowded. So the leaves that you're going to get from the basils are really small usually, even if you do repot them, because the plant doesn't have space to breathe. So if you do get it from the shop, all you want to do really is separate it. So instead of just repotting it as it is, just break it up and loosen up the roots, which is probably going to be overgrown in that pot that you buy, and then repot it. Just had loads of basil seeds, so I just grown this from seeds. It also gives it more resilience, I suppose, as a plant. So it's a good, if you do have the opportunity to grow it from seeds, you can do it on your windowsill. It just needs a lot of sunshine and warmth, so you don't want to grow it in like a cold, shady spot. They're not watering very well, I must say.
What do you mean? More water?
Yeah, like water properly. Cosy. It's like you've never gardened before.
Well, when I garden, I just whack them in.
Maybe that's why we don't have anything growing. Is this what you did?
Yeah. What's wrong with
Ma
that?
perché?
What's wrong with that?
It looks disgusting
No,
and not watered
not
enough.
No, because I put more soil in it.
Ma no, you don't have to put...
Push them in.
No, you're doing not the right thing. You asked me to tell you, but you do whatever the fuck you want. Josie, you water it before, and then you put it in. End of. And that's why you have to put it right to the top.
It's not enough soil in that, surely.
Now you have to water them, but it's such a young plant, you misplaced the roots.
We've already watered them.
And also, what happened to, we said, just 2 plants?
Well, those were 4 small ones. Watch that one. That one's going to be an absolute beast.
You're incredibly annoying.
Okay.
Guarda che roba. Perfect. Sì. Ma vedi, guarda che... No, cosa fai? Jos?
It's fine. So what are you giving me responsibility of? Anything?
What would you think? Are you going to follow my instructions?
Maybe.
So, if so, you could do the basil, but you fill it up.
Water it, shove them in, leave it.
Not shove them in, carefully place them in, because they're little tiny plants. Yeah. It's very simple. Simple as that. Dello sperma. Sunderlandi. I don't know what it is. Is it hardy, reliable, and will flower year after year? Get in there, you reliable hardy. And spread, grow prosperous, my lover. This is a weed that I am going to encourage to grow. Do you think there's another marigold here?
I think there isn't, but there could be.
No, I mean... Bye, you know what I mean. Douchebag. So with the tomato plant, what you want to do is when there's a leaf or a little branch coming out in between 2 shoots, the main one and a side one, you want to get rid of that growing shoot. So this right at the bottom, for example, here, can you see?
Yeah.
This bit, so we get rid of that one. And I've already done for all of the other ones, but just checking that I've done a thorough job. Let's remove it, and that encourages just basically the plant to grow fruits and to put energy into doing that, as opposed to growing the plant, basically, because we are growing it for the produce, aren't we? Ah, there's one there. It's a bigger one, so maybe you can see it. So there's one there. I'm glad I'm checking because I thought I got rid of all of them. But I am going to cut the tops of these carrots, so they're growing really nicely, and you can see them. Maybe if you want to show them, you can see that they're growing, but you can see that they are very lean, and we want to encourage the growth to go downwards and into the carrot rather than up into the plant. So obviously this is taking a lot of energy from the plant at the moment, so we're going to cut it and give it a good trim. And this is actually edible, so we could make something out of it, put it maybe in broth or something. Quite satisfying. Also means that I'm able to move this to the top floor.
Space in the greenhouse.
Yeah, so that we can put the beetroot, at the bottom. Be good enough. They also have some kale.
It is the next day, and I think you might be able to hear that my throat is a little bit... I've been trying to fight it for the last couple of days, but I think today it's got me. Yeah, I've got a bit of a sore throat. I didn't sleep too well last night, so luckily being bank holiday Monday, Marta is off. She's taken Rocco for the walk. And normally that means I get to go to the gym, but I didn't really want to push it today. So I am going to do some stretching, just move my body a little bit. Bank holiday Monday doesn't mean a lot to me because I still have to do my designs for the week. So I'm going to carry on with work. Hopefully still have a roast dinner later, because that always makes you feel better when you're a little bit ill. Even if it feels like you're swallowing stinging nettles. I'm so shit at being ill. I feel like I can fight it quite well. I don't get ill very often, I don't think, touch wood. But when it actually gets me, I'm absolutely useless. Like Marta and I will have the same illness and she'll just get over it like that, I'll just get on with it. And I'm like, no, I need to go to bed. Anyway, let's stretch. Or just have a nap on the floor. Just to move my body, I feel quite warm. Now I'm going to do some work, and then I also want to get a little bit more done on my van. If you've been watching my van conversion series, we're on episode 2 I think, so we've not got that far yet. But if anyone has converted a van or is interested, then please give it a watch and let me know any tips or things that you've learned if you've done yours, because I am a total beginner when it comes to this sort of stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just going off what other people have either said, YouTube videos, books, anything I can get my hands on. But still, I don't know what I'm doing. Time to crack on with the day. Ooh.
We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer heat. The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. got nowhere to be. Got nowhere to be. Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just laugh, let it fall where it lies.
Ching chong.
Coffee is cold, but we take a sip, talk about nothing. Let the morning slip. Oh, it feels like
You did it in one?
like summer
Yeah.
rays.
No, I'm not a pussy.
Oh, it feels
It's disgusting, quite frankly.
like summer sun on quiet.
It's just like the lumpy bits.
Just shove it down.
I can't because I'll throw it back up. Honestly, I'll look like.
There's a lovely sweet treats. Got with honey and chocolate afterwards. Yeah.
So there was
The taste is not too bad.
lemon and a half, an apple, ginger, turmeric, pepper, a little bit of olive oil.
Chocolate we made yesterday.
So hopefully, punch whatever it is I'm potentially getting somewhere else.
I do wonder whether it can be blitzed more. Because I don't think you did it enough. What did you use? Blend? The blend option or just pulse? And this steak. Put it down. Chocolate, honey.
I'm really sensitive to certain textures and things. Like I can't drink pulpy orange juice and things like that, or cocktails with bits in, because it just makes me gag. So that was a bit of a challenge. Time to prepare the chicken. I like to salt the chicken. You can either do that the night before, but we only got our chicken this morning, so I am going to salt it the morning of cooking. Yeah, dab it with kitchen roll just to dry it out, and then I salt it and put it in the fridge, and then I find that more water draws out of it, and then I will dab it again before putting the salt and everything that I cook it in. Because otherwise it's just a bit wet. Start with the underside, salt that, turn it over, and then salt again.
Change is constant, learning to flow. All the unknown, lemons thrown.
And then put it uncovered in the fridge until you're ready to cook. Get it out half an hour at least before cooking it. I am absolutely nowhere near finished with work, but I get to the point on a Monday where I feel like I'm going insane because I'm just sat still drawing and doing emails. So I'm going to put another coat of red oxide primer on my van, move my body a little bit, and hopefully that'll give me the energy that I need to finish my designs for the week. I also feel like shit, but this is what I want to be doing, even though I came out here and I was like, oh god, would I really rather be doing this than designs? But yeah, I need to move my body and feel like I'm doing something to the van. Time to start the roast. First things first, the potatoes. Because I boil them and then let them cool off before they go in the oven to get them super crispy. And the chicken is already out of the fridge because that needs to get to room temperature before that goes in the oven as well. Those are my top tips. My throat is very sore. Marta has actually given me some sympathy. which is surprising. No, she's very good. She looks after me because I do lay it on pretty thick. If you look at the amount of food that I'm going to do and think, how many people have you got coming for dinner? Yeah, it's just me and Marta. But if I'm going to all this effort, I want enough for 2 meals each. So we'll have this again for lunch tomorrow. But also the chicken will last us for the whole week. So, well, it'll be maybe like another couple of lunches because it's a big chicken. Just makes it more worthwhile and more affordable buying one big chicken rather than buying like a few packets of chicken breasts or chicken mince or something. It's actually more affordable to do it this way. You get more chicken, it lasts longer. Potatoes go into cold water, not hot water. Salt the water quite generously. And then whilst they're parboiling, I will make my broccoli cheese. Look at our lovely bread that was made today. I would say I made it, but definitely wasn't me this time. This was Marta's beautiful work. I haven't got my apron on. That's better. Now I can work properly. I love rice dinners. I love rice dinners. I have ruined having roast dinners out now because even ones that are like TripAdvisor, best roast and a New Forest, unfortunately doesn't even come close to mine because there's something about it's the potatoes. The potatoes have got to be crispy. You've got to have a good selection of vegetables. The meat, you don't want the meat dry, and a Yorkshire pudding. And then to get all of those things in one roast, especially the crispy potatoes, because they cook all the potatoes in advance and then heat them up, so they're going to be not crispy no matter where you go. Or prove me wrong, because we've had a fair few roasts out now and it's not worth it. Mine are just so much better, even if I do say so myself. And cauliflower cheese or broccoli cheese that I make, most places is extra. Now that should just be like your standard part of your roast dinner, surely. Can't pay extra for that. Standard. Come on, guys. I have made way too much white sauce, which is usually the case because I don't measure it, I just whack it in. I love it though. So as I said, this went in the fridge with some salt on it just to extract some of the moisture. So I'm going to give it another dab with some kitchen roll just to get rid of that water on the outside. I feel like changing a nappy on a baby when you do that. We see like kids, their legs get lifted up and like the bum goes in the air. Anyway, that's just what I think. I like to put a load of water in the baking tray underneath the chicken because that helps with keeping it nice and moist, kind of steams it. I don't know why, my mum told me to do that, so that's what I do, and it seems to work a treat. It also helps with making gravy at the end because you've got a little bit more liquid, which is nice because we love gravy. So let's stuff this bird with lovely stuff. Half a, well actually that looks like a lime, but it is a lemon. I'm going to shove the whole lemon in because I like that citrusy tang with the chicken and on the gravy as well. Really nice. I'm not a massive fan of like citrusy flavours, but I think it works well with certain things, and a roast chicken is one of those things. Then we go in with a whole onion, but it's quite a small one, a carrot, chop it in half down the middle, shove that in, and two cloves of garlic. I give them a little squish. That just helps get some of the flavour out. So I'm just going to grab some rosemary from the garden because that is going in there as well. And for the potatoes, actually I'm going to get a few different herbs from the garden. Sage, thyme and rosemary, my favourites for a roast dinner. All from the garden, all grown from seed, which is quite satisfying, I must admit. So some of this can go in, some of this can be saved for the potatoes. So I like to cook it upside down for 30 minutes and cover it up with some tin foil and then flip it over and then do the rest the right way up. First off with tin foil and then take the tin foil off for the last 30 minutes. So depending on the size of the chicken as to how long you cook it for. And then when I first put it on upside down, so now I'm just going to salt and pepper this side, and then the same again when I flip it over, butter and it melts because it's been in the oven, then salt and pepper on top. Lots of salt and pepper, obviously. Time for a little clear up, I think. First wash up of the roast dinner. I tend to do about 2 and still end up using everything again. Time to make some Yorkshire puddings. So I used half the amount of what they say because I don't need to make 8. I don't really need to make 4, but 4's good. So we're making 4 massive Yorkshire puddings. In here we have 70 grams of plain flour, 2 eggs, and then 100 mils of milk. So first the flour, then the eggs, beat that in until that's smooth, no lumpy lumps, and make sure you get all that around the bottom as well, and then slowly add in the milk. This is the consistency you want, mega thin. It's gone a bit dark, is the light? Maybe that's better, maybe not. Right, so I have got everything out so I know what I'm doing. So I am doing red cabbage, carrots, parsnips and sausages. Yorkshire puddings, potatoes, chickens in, gravy and broccoli cheese. That should do it. I think that's enough. Okay, so what's next? Let's do carrots and parsnips. And we actually have a bag here. I forgot to do that with the potatoes for all the peelings and the leftover bits that normally go in the compost. I need to try and remember to put them in that bag, because once we have roast chicken or something like that, Marta makes this amazing bone broth, and it's these old bits, not old, these bits of vegetables that normally go in the compost go in with them and makes it super tasty. And also that means that our gravy is super tasty because we have the broth from that, from the last time she made broth. So the gravy is excellent. We don't have to use a cube, which is fine because that's what we normally use. But when we have broth, we use the broth and it's delish. I'm sorry if this light is horrible, but it's just gone really dark and rainy all of a sudden. So I was worried that I would just be in the dark and you'd see my, well, I'm pretty much glow in the dark anyway with my skin tone. Carrots seem to just disappear when you cook them. They shrivel up. So we need to do more carrots than what I think. Let's do a couple more. There's someone that can hear me peel carrots from a mile away. This guy. Do you like carrots? You want one? You can have the ends. Yeah. Gently. Nice. Mwah.
There's dinner in the yard, out behind the cars. Tonight we're gonna do something different. I will make things that I know how to make. You will make something more delicious. Sweet potato pie on a flimsy paper plate. Baby, I don't think it gets much better. There isn't much to keep. We lay down and fall asleep till the morning comes around to find I still keep these little memories. The ones that stick around are the most bittersweet. I know it's getting late. The night is full of such mistake. I was hoping that you might want to talk to me. Card table outside, still sitting there. It's been so long, barely hold together. You can't really say what's coming tomorrow. You can only feel the changing weather. One day I'll not call if you were there at all. Maybe it was something like a dream. There isn't much to keep. find me. Oh, I still keep me these little goodies. The ones that stick around are the most bittersweet. I know it's getting late. Night is full of such mistakes, but I was hoping that you might want to talk to me.
And this is our homemade broth to make delicious gravy. We're going to tuck into this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.